afternoon, everybody. This is Mrs. B. I am going to be giving you a small tutorial today about how to find the area and perimeter of rectangles. First thing I'm going to do to show you this process and the way that your student was taught at school is to draw a rectangle. Okay, here's my rectangle. You can see that I have given my rectangle the dimensions 3 centimeters by 5 centimeters. One basic fact that all 5th graders should know about rectangles at this point in time is that if this side is 3 centimeters, this side over here will also be 3 centimeters, and if this side is 5 centimeters, this side up here will also be 5 centimeters. If they don't know that, hopefully they do now. The first thing I'm going to do is find the perimeter of my rectangle. In order to find the perimeter of a rectangle, I am going to divide my side that's 3 centimeters long into 3 pieces, and I'm going to do this by drawing 2 lines on that side. Here are my 2 lines. Now, since I've drawn 2 lines over here, I'm also going to draw 2 lines over here to show that it's also 3 centimeters long. Now I'm going to look down at my side that's 5 centimeters, and you guessed it, I'm going to also divide this guy into 5 pieces. To do that, I'm going to draw 4 lines to make 5 pieces, and I'm going to do that for both this side and this side. Now you can see I've divided up the entire perimeter of my rectangle, and I've got 5 pieces on each of my long sides and 3 pieces on each of my short sides. This is how I'm going to find my perimeter. I am going to go around and count each piece that I just divided out, and I'm going to write a number in it so that I don't forget where I started. I'm going to start over on the left side and work my way all the way around until I get to the end. You can see that I have now numbered all of the sections of my perimeter. The biggest number that I wrote is right here, and it's 16. This means that the perimeter of my rectangle with the dimensions 3 centimeters and 5 centimeters has a perimeter of 16 centimeters. Students should write their answer like this. They're going to write P equals 16 centimeters. Has to be a capital P, that stands for perimeter, and that is the standard notation in all of mathematics. The next step that we're going to do is to find the area of this rectangle. I've already drawn in my perimeter lines, and those are going to aid me in finding the area of my rectangle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by connecting this line to this line and this line to this line. When I'm done, it's going to look like this. Now I have my rectangle divided up into 3 sections. You can see that I made a small mistake right here where I didn't quite hit the line, but that's not going to matter. We're going to get the gist of what we're doing anyways. The next step that I'm going to take is I'm going to connect this line to this line, this line to this line, this line to this line, and this line to this line. Also, just so you know, in class we referred to these little tiny lines as tick marks because they divide a line into sections. When I'm finished dividing the sections, it's going to look like this. Again, you can see my lines are not perfectly straight. It's not a perfect representation, but it's close enough, and it's going to get us what we need. You can see that across my rectangle, I have divided it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Here's the next step. It's very, very similar to how we found the perimeter. I am simply going to start writing numbers in all of my boxes until I run out of boxes and I have no other places to write a number. 1 will go here, 2 will go here, 3 will go here, and so on. This is what it's going to look like when I'm finished. Now I have numbered all of the squares inside my rectangle. This is going to tell me the area. The biggest number that I wrote down was 15. That means that my rectangle is 15 square centimeters. We have to add that square piece in because each of these little sections is a square. Here's how I want your student to express their answer for an area problem. Your student should be writing, in this case, A equals 15 square centimeters. A stands for area and has to be capitalized as that's the standard notation in all of mathematics for area. SQ stands for square, and it needs to come right after the number, followed by the unit of measurement, in this case, centimeters. cm means centimeters. There is one alternative for how a student can write the answer to an area problem in their work, and it looks like this. Some students have asked me if they can use this notation instead. Again, A still means area, equals 15 in this case, centimeters, and squared. The reason we put that little 2 up there is because when we're finding the area of a rectangle, we're talking about 2 dimensions, the length of the rectangle and the width of a rectangle. That's where that little tiny 2 comes from. If your student is more comfortable writing 15 cm with a tiny 2 in the postscript, that's fine. If not, I want them to write 15 square centimeters. If they don't include one of these 2 notations in their area answers, their answer will be marked at half credit because the notation is very important. It's important that they know what they're talking about and why they've written what they've written. Now, some of you will know that finding the area of a rectangle can be much easier than doing all of this numbering and all of this extra work. Finding the area of a rectangle can be equated to this equation. Area equals length times width. This is fine. However, when I ask your 5th grader to prove that their answer is correct, this is what they need to show me. They have to show me with perimeter how they divided up all of the sides and counted up their pieces to prove that they were right. And with area, they have to show me all of the squares that they made on the inside of their figure also to prove that they were right. If your student is comfortable with this and they can do that at home, that is fine. However, in class right now, this is how we're going to be finding area and perimeter. I will individually let students know when it is okay and appropriate for them to move on to using the algorithm. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you for finding area and perimeter of rectangles. If you have further questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My classroom phone number is 719-228-0968, and you can also reach me at email at brinker, that's BRINKER, @d11.org. Have a great night and enjoy your homework.